Hello, SnykCon 2020. My name is Greg Thompson, and
Hi, my name is Miguel A.
we'd like to invite you to take a journey with us through the pitfalls of committing sensitive information to Git. Welcome to Whoops, I Committed It Again. As our example here shows, I'm sure you can all relate to a time where you've been working on something, probably a prototype, something quick where you've ended up committing a sensitive URL, or possibly an API key or password to your Git repository.
So you may be wondering if this ever happens. Well, you would think a reputable company like Starbucks, it would never happen. But developers, we're all human, and we make mistakes.
And as we are all human, we kind of need to have something, what can we do to help us not to do this in future? What automated solutions are there available to us as developers to enable us to be able to help us catch these situations? Well, we've got secure coding, code reviews, and then the solution that we're going to be concentrating on in this talk, which is Git hooks.
So what are Git hooks? They're essentially scripts that are triggered. They can be triggered by certain events, such as a pre-commit or a post-commit.
Here we have an example of a very simple Git hook written as a shell script. This Git hook effectively looks for HTTP and HTTPS URLs inside the scripts that you give it. If it finds some, it pushes out an error message to the standard error channel and sets the exit code to 1. As this is non-zero error code, it informs Git that you don't wish to proceed with the action.
So you can get pretty fancy. You can leverage global Git hooks to apply to all repositories. You can coordinate local and global Git hooks. Local Git hooks are those that are just specific to our repository. For example, the script we just reviewed. You can leverage NPM lifecycle events, such as post install, to make sure the Git hooks are properly configured. You can leverage an NPM package like Husky that adds Git hook functionality into your NPM package. But there are some potential pitfalls. If you wanted to have a shared Git hook across all your development team, well, you cannot commit anything in the .git folder. You would have to commit it somewhere else and then make sure it gets installed properly in the correct hooks folder.
Other pitfalls are that certain graphical programs for using Git don't always work the best with Git hooks, and sometimes this can be an issue if your developers are using a mirror different set of tools in order to actually commit and work with a Git repository. Another problem, of course, is if you're working with different developer-based systems like Windows, Linux, or macOS. Each of those systems has different scripting languages and different environment configurations that are going to affect anything that you might want to do. So that needs to be bared in mind, of course, when you're developing solutions with Git hooks.
You might have some developer who does not want to be burdened by Git hooks. So make sure you get some buy-in from your development team before implementing a solution.
And of course, lastly, some secrets are going to slip through, like the solution itself, of course, whatever regular expressions or other things that you're using in your solution are not necessarily going to be 100%, so that this process isn't a replacement for doing good and thorough code reviews and other good coding practices, but it's a prop up to help you and support you in that process. So you might not necessarily want to have to write your own solution completely from the ground, as we did with ours. You could, if that's the case, there are open source solutions to help you out there. Two notable examples of these two here, which one provided by AWS and the other Yelp's Detect Secrets, both of which are based on using Git hooks.
So whatever approach you use, make sure it works for what you're trying to achieve. So Git hooks are pretty easy to set up. It was a one-line code, as you saw in the example, for a specific secret we're trying to find. It can help you keep your secrets out of your code base. As long as you're checking for the things you want to keep out of there, it'll work well for you. You can also complement your code review and secure coding principles.
Just leave you with the slide of our organization. Miguel and I work for Veritol, and thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
So thank you very much for listening to our presentation. And we hope you enjoy the rest of SnykCon. Thank you very much.